Good morning, everybody, and welcome to a Sunday sermon. Please pardon the baseball cap. We had a pretty good sized procedure with the dermatologist this week. So we'll just be wearing a cap for a week or so. I want to thank all of you that take time to listen to us, and I want to especially thank all of you that bring others to us. Today's going to be very interesting. It always is when St. Paul's with us. So anyway, he was the leader among the disciples. Or St. Peter, I'm sorry. I'm a little fuzzy yet from the procedure. Sorry, guys. Anyway, St. Peter is with us, and he's going to be speaking. So here he is. Hello, everyone. Yes, I'm back. And I hope that you will pay attention to some of the words that I speak today. I hope that you understand that there is nothing more important in your life than your belief in God. Belief in God is the foundation. Belief in God is where everything begins. You see, I was very blessed. I got to know Jesus. I was close to him. I spent much time with him. I heard his incredible words. I watched him perform miracles. I watched him do things that no one had ever done before. There's many people out there that believe that Jesus and God simply never existed. Well, they're totally wrong. They existed, and they still do. You see, when you return home, you will go to heaven. Heaven is incredibly real. Heaven is the most amazing place. And there will be a time, certainly a time for you to return. You see, your time as a human is very short. What you make of it is very, very important. You will spend much more time in heaven than you will on earth or any other planet that you choose to visit. So you have to make the most of it. Now, there's some of you out there that feel like making the most of it is making as much money as you can, inflicting your will upon others, making life miserable for other people, not helping them. Many of the people out there today have such great power that they control armies. They can send individuals to their deaths. As we watch from over here, we cannot believe what is taking place. We see that Russia has absolutely no regard for human life. They're sending hundreds of thousands of their boys to what they laughingly, and I said laughingly, refer to as the meat grinder. They know that those boys are going to be killed. Yes, they'll return to heaven and things will be much better for them. But they're cutting those boys short of the opportunity to show exactly how they want to live their lives. Free will determines how you live your lives, but it can be influenced so much by others that it affects how you make your decisions. Evil people can affect really, really good people in a terrible way. You see, there's many people that have to rely on others. They have to have a job. They have to work for others. Not everybody can be employed by themselves. That's not the way life plans work. Many people enjoy working for others, and there are many, many great employers out there. But there are many that aren't. There are many that abuse their workers, take advantage of them, don't pay them fairly, make them work extra long hours. An employer can make life miserable. You see, many employers don't even think about the golden rule. Would they like to be treated as they are treating their employees? Many are great people and can say yes to that. And God knows who those people are, and He will take care of them, and He will move them forward in the realms when they return, because they're good people. Why is it that there are so many bad people out there? Much of it begins at birth. If parents do not instruct their children properly, do not assure them that God exists, assure them that God will watch over them, and that their happiness, their true happiness, will come from living a good life. Today, many people do not take any consideration of the responsibilities that they face by fathering a child. We see this a lot in the inner cities. The inner cities are very difficult places for individuals to live and to grow up. Sadly, your politicians have destroyed the inner cities. They've made decisions that will not allow these poor people to live a normal life. Many of the young turn to drugs, turn to violence, turn to gangs because they have nowhere else to go. Your politicians could cure that if they wished. If they were not so hell-bent on having personal power and strength, there's a lot that they could do for those people. A big first step would be to assure a good education for the children of the inner cities. They need an equal chance, an equal opportunity to thrive. You see, their intellectual abilities are the same as anybody else's. Intellectual ability is a God-given blessing. And God gives that to many people, irregardless of their social position, their economic position, or religious beliefs. He gives people the ability to advance, to think for themselves, and to accomplish great things. Then you have the evil people that try to hold these people, the individuals that have been sent back to improve the lives of others. Evil tries to destroy their foundations. An evil person might be a college professor. Kids look up to a college professor because they think they know a lot. Well, if that professor is trying to lead you away from believing in God, they know nothing. That professor has failed the greatest exam that it will take in its life. That professor has assured himself failing grades. When he returns, he will have to learn his lessons. He will have to know what he did wrong, and he'll have to make up for it. How he makes up for it will depend on what his guides decide to do in his next life. Or if he was really bad in leading people away from God, he'll be reduced in the level in which he resides in heaven. May not seem much when you hear it, but being reduced in a level of heaven is not a pleasant thing. The further you advance in heaven, the greater the advances that you can do. You can travel mentally. You can do many things that you cannot even conceive of as you sit there listening to us today. Over here, and I'm referring to being in heaven where I am this morning, over here, we try to guide, we try to lead, we try to do all that we can to help people. We're amazed at just how bullheaded humans can be. They live in darkness and cannot see the light. What kind of person cannot see light out of darkness? The light is God. They need to see the light of God. That's what leads them forward. For thousands of years, humans have put their head in the proverbial sand. They have not accepted God. They've not accepted his preachings, and have done pretty well what they damn well please doing. They hurt themselves. They hurt others. The act of hurting themselves is utter stupidity. There's no need for that. All they have to do is follow God's simple words. Throughout the ages, he has sent back souls to speak his words. He speaks simple words that will lead everyone to great happiness. And then what happens? Humans took the words and distorted them, made them so difficult nobody can understand them. Well, that's on them. Many thought they were doing good, and I'll give them credit. Many people thought that by rewriting the words that they were doing humans a favor. They thought Jesus could have never spoke such simple words. Why would he do that? Why doesn't he challenge the intellectuals, the scholars, the priests, the bishops? Why doesn't he challenge them by having parables and stories so difficult no one can understand them? Why not put in things so outrageous that nobody will believe it? How about Adam and Eve? That story was made up by humans. And that story alone has turned many people away from organized religions. It is so difficult to believe that people look at that story and say, why should I believe any of the other words that are in that gospel or in that Bible? By complicating the words that were spoken by the prophets, the church is assured that individuals would have to turn to them for interpretation. Many of the popes, many of the leaders of all the churches want to build power to their church, strength, financial abilities. Today, you see many churches that have incredible wealth. They could be using that wealth to serve others, but they don't. They would rather build the power of the church. Jesus spoke so simply. He spoke to the uneducated. You see, when Jesus walked the earth, we didn't have schools. We had private individuals that would try to teach us what they could. But we had to work. We had to raise our families. We had to feed them. Often we had to catch our own fish to feed our family. We had to bake our own bread. There wasn't a supermarket down the street where you could go and buy groceries to facilitate feeding your family. When Jesus walked the earth, the time was very difficult. Today, he's provided many blessings to you. He's made it so easy for humans to truly exist. He's made it very easy for humans to make decisions. All of the information is available. As you look behind Barry, you see books that he's written. Those are the words of God. They're our words. My words are in those books. All of the disciples have words in those books. But especially that one over his shoulder, Messages of God. Those are all words that God has delivered himself and that Barry has taken time to put into book form. People ignore his books because they don't want to hear the truth. The truth will set you free. Why is it that humans are afraid of the truth? Well, it's evil. Evil energies lead them away from the truth. Humans want to believe that they know everything. You've heard us talk about trying to convert information to knowledge. The knowledge is that God exists. True knowledge is knowing that He is with you, and true knowledge is knowing that heaven is all around you and that you have been sent back to learn. Follow His simple commands. Follow the words that Jesus spoke, not the words that were written that say what He spoke. I hope that you take time to listen to my words. Go back and listen to them a second time. Barry makes it very easy for you to do that. He devotes his life to speaking the words of God. Know that I will come back again and I will ask you some of the same questions. Hopefully, in the time that I be away, you will take time to learn and convert information to knowledge. So thank you so much. I hope that all of you go out today and remove toxicity from your life. Toxicity is evil, and that is what makes it very, very difficult for you to advance. Pray to God, ask for guidance. Pray to me. I can help you too. Pray to whoever you feel comfortable with, archangels, saints, but God is always there for you, and He is your backstop. So thank you very, very much for allowing me to speak today. I will return again. Bless all of you and have a great day. Okay, Peter, thank you so much. Not much you can say after Peter speaks. You know what he says is correct. Tell others, bring them to us, and let us try to give them messages as well. So goodbye. God willing, I'll be back again next week. Have a wonderful week and pray to God.